No one thinks that they're going to wake up, eat breakfast, laugh, joke with their family, leave a house, never come back. Nobody thinks that they're going to lay down for a nap and never wake up. Nobody fucking thinks that. You see what I'm saying?
I want to say something. A pause, motherfucker.
What's going on, everybody? It's that ordinary podcaster with the extraordinary thoughts that tells you to stop being great and be extraordinary. I'm your host, Demetrius Thickpen, also known as Meech Speaks, and welcome back to another episode of the Meech Speaks Podcast. Now, before we get started with this podcast, don't forget to head on over to your favorite streaming platform, whether that's Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, or even YouTube. And if you are on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe to this episode. Let me rephrase that, subscribe to this channel. But most importantly, please leave this podcast an honest review because this podcast deserves to grow just as much as we do. First and foremost, happy 4th of July, America. 250 years of pure fucking excellence. Can I get a hell yeah, brother? Can I get a hell yeah, brother? And first and foremost, man, I'm talking about the grill been hot, all right? The grill been hot. The ribs was on. I did chicken, some sausage, macaroni and cheese. Bro, we had such a good time. And as I sat back, right, fireworks are going off, kids running around. I take a look at everything that I've been able to do, you know. And earlier this week, we were talking. You feel me? We were talking. And we were having a conversation just about just making a change for ourselves. Now, this is a podcast about becoming a better version of yourself. And I don't know what that version is, okay? But I do know that everyone deserves to be better or to choose to do better in life, if that makes sense. And we were talking, and one of the things that came up was like, well, why is it so fucking hard for people? I'm gonna just be honest, like, why is it so fucking hard for people to do the right thing? Let me rephrase that, man, because why the fuck is it so hard for people to do the right thing for themselves? And the guy across from me, he said, well, you already know what you need to do. Just do it. And I love that, man. And I love the simplicity of it because of the simple fact that we already know what we need to do. Just do it, you know, and it's simple, but it's true. We love to look for a fucking sage answer in some simple problems. We love to look for this complex answer because we feel as if like our lives are complex. We feel like the situation is complex. We feel like it's just this grand scheme of shit when it's actually very simple. And when you realize that, man, like you already know what you need to do. Just do it. And after I got that, I got some devastating news. Got some devastating news over the weekend. And I normally don't do this, but I just asked, man, you know, pray for my family. You feel me? Like, you know, especially my family back in Detroit. Pray for them. And as I sat back, man, like that earlier conversation this week, it really hit home because you know what you need to do. You feel me? Like, you know what you need to do. Just do it, you know? And one thing that I've always been terrible about this is that I believe that I have tomorrow. You feel me? Like I'm not gonna lie, and I'm pretty sure a couple of other people believe that as well, but I have a tendency to believe that I have tomorrow. I have till later. And this weekend made me realize that, bro, do you know how fucking arrogant it is to think that you have tomorrow? Like I don't think, hold on, man, like, because I don't think a lot of people really understand what I'm talking about, man. Nothing is truly guaranteed in life. You feel me? Nothing is guaranteed. The full 24 hours that we get in a day, that's not even guaranteed. You feel me? You don't know if you about to punch your clock out early, midday. You don't even know it. And it's crazy because we love to say we got later, we got eventually, we got tomorrow. Do we? The fact that I can wake up and be able to listen to this episode tomorrow, that's a fucking miracle. The fact that I can drive to my job, you know, the same job that I complain about all the time, nothing short than a miracle. The fact that I can look at my family and say, hey, I'll do that later is a blessing. And it's a blessing that we tend to take for granted. And that's exactly what this weekend truly made me realize, you know, is that we tend to take things that have not been promised to us for granted. I spent this entire weekend wishing every time that I went home that I got a chance to see everybody. Even though that always irritated me, you know what I mean? Because I got to drive to like 5 different fucking houses, you know what I mean? But the fact that I'm able to do it is a blessing. And I don't think a lot of people really understand what I'm saying. And I'll say that again because the fact that you can do the thing that irritates you the most is a blessing. The fact that you have the capabilities to be able to do the thing that you feel as if it's an inconvenience is a blessing. Like the fact that I can be able to go home, drive to 5 different houses. You feel me? It's the simple fact that I have the means to be able to do that. And the only thing I'm complaining about is the fact that everybody won't come see me. That's a fucking blessing that a lot of people don't have. The fact that I could go somewhere and I can say, you know what, I'll do this tomorrow, man, that's a blessing. And this weekend really made me feel that. We're officially 7 months into the new year. You feel me? And if I've said anything throughout this entire year, man, the one thing that I really want to echo is that you already know what you need to do. Just do it. And if you gonna do it, fucking do it today. Let's get started with today's episode. So now that I got that big burst of emotion out of me, man, one thing that I was just saying, I've said it already earlier, is that tomorrow is a blessing. In fact, tomorrow is a privilege. And we love to say that we'll do it tomorrow, we'll do it later. We have time. And the reason why, man, and it's so crazy about this is because this actually is like a very cliche Instagram topic. You know what I mean? This is a very cliche mindset podcast topic. Like anytime you look at a motivational podcast, self-care, any fucking podcast that's dedicated on doing better in life, they will always say, you don't have tomorrow. You got to get up and do it now. So it's not like we've never heard this before. But the reality is that we don't take it serious, or let me rephrase that. We don't really take this into consideration. There it is right there, because we feel like it won't happen to us. We feel like they're not really talking to us, you know? We know that tomorrow isn't guaranteed, but we feel like our tomorrow, that's guaranteed. You know what I mean? Like we don't think that, and nobody, and I will say that, a lot of people won't think that you about to punch out midday. You feel me? No one thinks that they're going to wake up, eat breakfast, laugh, joke with their family, leave the house, never come back. Nobody thinks that they're going to lay down for a nap and never wake up. Nobody fucking thinks that. You see what I'm saying? And maybe let me take away the being so morbid. Nobody thinks, man, after complaining at that job all day, that as you drive to work, they just suddenly fired you. Nobody thinks that. You feel me? Nobody thinks like they're in a relationship. The relationship was going great. And then they come home and all they shit packed up and the person done moved out. Nobody is thinking that, bro. Nobody thinks that. And they're definitely not thinking it about themselves. So, yeah, we all know that tomorrow isn't guaranteed and tomorrow is a privilege. But the reality is that you honestly don't really think it's going to happen to you. And you ain't going to start doing shit until you start to think that it could. Until you put that possibility in your head and realize like, bro, like that actually could happen to me, you're not going to make a change. Let's just call a spade, bro. You're not going to make a fucking change. I didn't start really working out and taking my fucking health serious until I went back to the maze and saw how fucking fat I got. I remember somebody looking over at me, man, and said, damn, Thickpen, you really making that belt work this time, huh? I didn't realize I had gained that weight. And that's what made me take it serious. I didn't know that I had a drinking problem until I woke up and the fucking neighbor's dog was barking because it's 7 o'clock in the morning and I'm late to work. I didn't know that. One thing that I will always say, man, is that we walk in this life looking for a brick, or let me rephrase that, waiting for a brick to hit us when we already been hit with enough pebbles. Life already done told you that you need to get your shit together. Life already told you, hey, man, like your time getting shorter. Hey, you ain't got too many second chances, and you waiting for a brick. You sit back and you talk about this job and how much you're waiting to apply to it, or you want to start this new venture. Well, guess what? Somebody else will. Okay. You keep saying that you're going to put off your physical fitness and you're going to work out tomorrow, or you're going to work out later, or maybe later on this week, or maybe next week, you're going to start this. And I promise you right now, you probably don't got that time. I remember I was just talking to my son. You feel me? I was talking to my son and he brought it up that he had a little crush on this girl. And I told him, I said, bro, you need to go talk to her. He said, man, I'm nervous. I said, okay, everybody nervous. He said, all right, bet, man. Like I'll do it after, I'll do it next week. It's Tuesday. He talking about he'll do it next week. I said, no, bro, you need to do it now. He said, well, I got time. I said, bro, why you over here sitting, waiting on the right time to talk to this girl? I promise you, there's somebody that's about to go talk to her right now. You feel me? They about to click. They gonna end up moving on together and you gonna miss your opportunity. He said, Dad, I'm in school. I said, bro, this is life, period. You see somebody that you like and you waiting for the right moment. I promise you, there's somebody, shooters shoot. He about to shoot his shot and they gonna click. They gonna laugh. They gonna go on dates. They gonna end up fucking married and you gonna be sitting there like, damn, I wish I would have. And you already know what to do. Just do it. Just do it. One thing that I want you to know, man, and I want to be echoed throughout this entire episode is that we already know what we need to do. We can do it right now if we needed to. But we keep lying to ourselves or giving ourselves like these bullshit promises that we know we're not about to fucking keep. So I will say this, man, like you already know what you need to do. Just do it. Now, one thing that I will say, man, is that, yeah, we know exactly what we need to do. But the thing is that we love to talk ourselves out of a good idea just because we feel like the moment isn't right. You feel me? We love to talk ourselves out of a good idea because we feel like we ain't got the information. We love to talk ourselves out of a good idea because we feel like other people gonna judge us. We love to talk ourselves out of a good idea because we're afraid to start. And I will say that again. The reason why you keep talking yourself out of that good idea is because you're afraid to start. We done had that conversation in our head before. Our idea pops up. But as soon as that idea starts to take root, we start to say to ourselves, well, you need money for that. Or, man, you know, what are other people going to think? Oh, man, that's so fucking cringe. Bro, you don't even know what you're doing. And next thing you know, we back ourselves out of it. And next thing you know, we back ourselves out of the idea. Then we start to say shit like, well, everybody was hating on me. Nobody believed in me. I didn't have the means. I will tell you this right now. You did have the means. You did. You just talked yourself out of it because you didn't have the top piece of gear to be able to get started. You didn't have the thing that brought comfort. There it is right there. There it is. We love to sit there and say that we didn't have the means for this. But the reality is that you didn't have the comfort for it. You know fucking well that you had the means. You complaining about how you don't want to go work out, saying that you don't got the meal prep, that you don't have the supplements, that you don't have the gym. You're a fucking lie. Because I'll tell you this right now, you had the means, you just didn't have the comfort. You can still run. You can still do push-ups. You can still do squats. You ain't got to gorge yourself and eat till you're past full. You just need to put something on your stomach. You sit there and you complain about how people ain't supporting you. But I'm going to tell you this right now. Do you know how arrogant it is? Let me rephrase that. Do you know how selfish it is? Let me rephrase that. Do you understand how big of an ego that you have to have in order to say that I'm not going to believe in my idea? I need you to. Do you hear that? It's not that they didn't support you. You didn't support yourself. We love to sit there and say that we didn't have time, but then we'll sit on our phones for the next 2 hours and just go through bullshit. We love to sit there and say that we ain't really have time, man, but we'll stay up 2 hours before it's time to go to bed. We love to sit back and say that we ain't got time, but then we about to go out and fuck off for the next 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. We love to say that we got time, but then we gonna drive to our job, make somebody else richer, put into the mission, knowing damn well it don't care about us, give 100% to everybody else. And then when it's time to come home, you can't even give a little bit of that to yourself. And I know it's somebody right now that's going to be a naysayer and say, well, this job pays my bills. And so will that idea if you allow it to take birth. Well, this job is more important. So is your fucking health. We already know what we need to do. But we love to sit back and say that we ain't got this, knowing that it's just we ain't got comfort. We ain't got comfort. And I promise you this right now, if you do it enough, right? Like if you do it enough, then the comfort will come. You will find comfort in discomfort. I promise you that. We love to sit back, man, and just say that we're waiting for the right moment. But what if the right moment is just waiting for you to make a fucking decision? You know, and I don't think a lot of people understand, man. And I saw somebody say that on Instagram, bro. And he said, like, we love to wait for the right moment, man. But what if the moment is just waiting for you to make a decision? What if the thing is really right in front of you and it's just waiting for you to just make a decision, for you to pull the trigger, for you to take the next step, for you to fucking actually do it? We love to sit back and say that. But the reality is, man, is that the moment's been there. The moment done left, it done came back. It's just waiting for you to make a fucking decision. And as we come to a close to this episode, man, one thing that I really want a lot of people to understand is that this weekend, man, we got a chance to celebrate 250 years of being in America. Let me rephrase that, just being a fucking America. Hell yeah, brother. And we also have to realize, man, like we're 7 months into the year. You already know what you need to do. Just fucking do it. Stop waiting for somebody else to give you permission. Stop talking yourself out of your ideas. Just fucking do it. The moment is there. All you need to do is make the fucking decision.